Welcome to Strengths Month. Now, before I go on, it's so important that we realise how strong we are. Like, you are unique. There's no one else on the face of this planet like you. And the same for me as well. And the sooner we realise that, and the sooner we connect to our own strengths, the better. And that's why it's my absolute pleasure today to bring you the story of Leonard Cheshire. Leonard Cheshire was Bomber Command's most highly decorated and successful pilot. He flew over 100 missions for Bomber Command, despite the fact that the life expectancy of a bomber pilot was around 24 missions. After 24 missions, you were probably expected to either be shot down, taken prisoner, or sadly killed. But Leonard Cheshire somehow had the prowess and the ability to keep pushing on through, tapping into his resilience, and flew over 100 missions. He was the highest decorated member of Bomber Command. He was awarded the VC for valour and bravery. And the epic tale of how he earned his Victoria Cross is something I have to tell you. So there was a raid where they were bombing, I believe it was Munich, and he was in first, which Leonard Cheshire always was. True leadership, in first and let his men follow. Now, he came in over Munich, dropped his markers, and instead of leaving and going home as he could have done at that moment in time, he carried on flying around the city. Now, this had the effect of drawing all the searchlights and all the anti-aircraft flak to him, to his one Lancaster, and enabled the rest of the bombers to fly in untouched. Incredible leadership, incredible bravery, and an incredible man. The reason he means so much to me personally as well is he wasn't defined by what he achieved during the war. After the war, he set up a charity, Leonard Cheshire Disability, and positively influenced the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. And his wife, Sue Ryder, set her own charity up and did exactly the same. They were incredible, incredible people. On top of all this, and just to prove how important he was from a military sense, he was one of the few people, one of two Brits, to be in the air, observing the atomic bomb being dropped in 1945. This man had a huge standing. However, there's one thing about Leonard Cheshire that I have to say. Despite being the most decorated pilot in Bomber Command, he wasn't a very good pilot. It sounds really bizarre to hear that, but Leonard Cheshire didn't enjoy flying, didn't like heights, didn't like the process of taking off. All of these for the man who achieved so much. I had an incredible conversation with another pilot called Norman Gregory once, and I said to Norman, do you remember Leonard Cheshire? And he said to me, I remember Len, lovely man, great leader, not a very good pilot. Which does beg the question, how on earth did he rise to such notoriety? Well, Leonard Cheshire was able to tap into his strengths, his own personal strengths. He accepted he wasn't the best pilot in the world. Like, don't get me wrong, he was capable, but he wasn't a natural. But he was able to tap in to the things that made him him. So Leonard Cheshire was an incredible people's person. He was an amazing leader, like people just followed. He had this incredible technical brain, so he knew the inner workings of an aircraft like the back of his hand. He had all these attributes going for him, and he combined them with his own strategies. So when he was doing bombing runs, you imagine the intensities, flying at night over hostile territory, all the anti-aircraft flak is coming up to try and shoot him down. And he developed this mindset of, I'm just gonna go straight in. I'm gonna act. I'm not gonna think twice. I'm not gonna look out the sides. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna act, then I'm gonna worry about it later. And he just connected to all these epic strengths, and it made him able to achieve such greatness. All of these qualities added up to the most highly decorated and successful bomber pilot that Bomber Command had ever seen, yet he wasn't a very good pilot. Now, for me, that inspires the hell out of me. Like, when I read that, I just thought, wow, and it makes me think about like my own abilities. I love talking to you guys, but I was always held back by the fact that I mumble, I've got a bit of a stutter, I'm not a very natural speaker, and that always held me back. But after reading about Leonard Cheshire's story, I thought, okay then, let's flip this, like, what have I got? And I'm really, really passionate. I love the story of that generation, and I really want to make a difference to you guys as well. I want to share their knowledge. I love storytelling as well, and actually what I've been able to do through Leonard Cheshire's example is combine the things that make me, me, and use it to my advantage. And I find that truly inspiring. And that's why Leonard Cheshire is going to kick off Strengths Month. Like, what can you achieve when you tap into those unique qualities that only you have? And that's what it's all about. So I want to finish this video with Leonard Cheshire's words. And he said these words: never underestimate the power of the individual to change their circumstances and to help create a better world. And surely that's what it's all about. Self-development. And then when we grow as people, and when we develop, we let that positive ripple of effect flow out into the world and make a positive difference. And I completely learned that from Leonard Cheshire.